Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, and today I want to talk about some upgrades that I've done on the transit van. And for those of you that may be new here, I've just recently purchased a 2020 transit van. It's an L2 H3 model, so it's a 5.5 metre long transit. I have done a video on that previously, so the previous video that's on the channel, you can go and look for that if you want to watch it, or I'll actually link it up above there. I think it's that side. I don't know if it's that side, but sometimes that doesn't work. I've noticed when people say that on videos, the video's not there. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the description as well, so you can definitely find it. But in that video I talked about wanting to do some upgrades to the van. Or I say upgrades, I don't know if you class them as upgrades. I suppose the security is an upgrade. Yeah, definitely that. So that's the first thing that I did, was the security. As I had previously mentioned, that was something that I wanted to get done before I did anything else to the van. It was my number one priority, was to get my van secured. Now I'm happy to say that I've had a very good system fitted. I was going to do a video on it, but I've decided not to disclose my security that I've had fitted to the van. I can share a couple of things, but I know there's two trains of thought on this. There's one train of thought that advertise what you've got, you know, stickers on the windows, let people know what's fitted, so that it is a deterrent. I kind of understand that as well, and I was struggling with this myself. And then the other train of thought is, are you then just giving out information to potential thieves what you've got fitted so they can figure out how to get around it or bypass it or whatever they want to do? And I just sort of fell into that. I fell into that camp of thinking, actually, you know what? I don't really want to share that. So I'm not going to share what system I've got fitted. But trust me, I've had a really good system fitted. I'm very happy with it. I feel a lot more confident now I've got this fitted with my van, because I had van anxiety when I first got the van. I was just so worried that my van was going to get stolen, because I know that the security on vans is really poor. They can just crack the lock and they're in and straight into your OBD port and your van's gone. As quick as that. And a lot of people don't realise that, but it's that simple to steal it. And that's with your car as well. It's with any vehicle these days. All these modern vehicles seem to be easier to steal now. I mean, back in the olden days, we're talking like the 80s and the 90s, it was easy to steal cars. They used to just break your lock again, get in and hotwire it. And then it went through a period, I think, where it got actually quite difficult. So the thefts went down. But they've put too much technology in, I think, and the thieves have just got clever. So, yeah. But what I have had fitted is I've had a rep lock fitted on the door. So the standard lock isn't much good. So that's been changed for a better lock. It already had deadlocks on the van anyway when I got the van. I'm not sure I would have had those fitted myself, because I feel like with deadlocks on the outside of a van, it's almost saying I've got something, something expensive to protect, sort of beef my security up. So, you know, there's also that way of thinking, and I kind of started to think a little bit like that. I prefer more of a stealth security. But because they're already on the van, I can't really take them off, because then I'd have to get bodywork done. But I'm going to be putting windows in it anyway. So I think that once windows are in, then, you know, you haven't got potential tool thieves then looking at your van thinking it's a tradesman's van. Because at the moment, it just looks like a tradesman's van, because it's just plain panel van and it's obviously got deadlock. So if a tool thief was on the prowl, he'd be thinking, right, there must be something in there to protect. But I think when you put windows in it and then make it look like a camper van, they then know that there's no tools in them. There's nothing worth them nicking. The only real worry then is someone actually wants to steal your whole van. So hopefully now that I've got this good security system fitted, that won't happen. And I think that's important to get that done before you go ahead and do any other upgrades. So the other upgrades, what other upgrades have I had fitted? Well, just one other upgrade. I've actually had the steering wheel fitted. I got a steering wheel off the top of the range limited model with cruise control on it. So now I've got cruise control on my van, and that was enabled in 4Scan software, and that was all turned on. And now I'm so happy that I've got cruise control, because two things I always want on a vehicle is aircon and cruise control. They're like non-negotiable. But I didn't get this van with the cruise control because I had a feeling I could get it fitted, and yeah, it turned out to be the case. So that's awesome. So I've got aircon and cruise control. What else did I have done? Well, yeah, there was another upgrade. This came as a 130 PS model. I think that's 130 brake. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be 129 or something like that. I don't know how that PS thing works as opposed to brake horsepower. But basically, you get different powers on the vans. This is a 130 van from factory, but in the Ford software, in the ECU, I believe you can switch it. Well, you can, because I've had it done. So it isn't actually a remap. I haven't had to take it somewhere and get it remapped. Again, in the 4Scan, it was just switched from the 130 to the 170. So I've got more power now as well. So that's great. And I really noticed it. I'm really happy with that. What else have I done? I'm trying to think now. I'm getting mind blocked. I had to stop start turned off, but that doesn't seem to have be 100%. It still happens every now and then. So, but I really don't like stop start, because it did it to me the other day. I literally pulled up at a junction, went to pull off. Just as I went to pull off, it decided to turn off, and it was like I'd stalled the van, and I went sort of jolted. And car behind me, went to go as well, and he nearly went into the back of me. So stop start, in my opinion, I don't like it at all. I really hate it. So I've had that turned off. What else have I done? Oh yes, I decided to take the van racking out. How did I forget that? Because it was an absolute mission. In this video, it actually looks like it only took a couple of minutes, but in reality it took me hours and hours. Well, that one wasn't coming off on my own. I had to get one of the neighbours to help me. There's a bolt on the other side. The head of the bolt was on the other side of the bulkhead. As you can see, I had to cut all that out with the angle grinder because it was all bonded in and you couldn't get to the bolts underneath. And that's what I ended up with. So just got this side to take out now, and that was pretty much the same story. The bottom tray was bonded in as well, so that was a bit of a mission trying to get that off, but what I used is a crowbar on this one to get that off. So finally we've got the racking out, and we've got a nice empty van, and soon enough it'll be a blank canvas. I've just got to take those side panels off. They're like a corrugated plastic rather than ply lining, and then we're good to go. Oh, and the other thing, the charging of the starter battery was set to 80% from factory, so that's now been changed to 100%. So no idea why it's 80% from factory. If anybody knows why that is, yeah, let me know, because I've no idea. I don't know why that would be. I would have just thought 100%. You'd want your battery, you starter battery to charge to 100%, especially in the winter months, because that's when your battery gets a little bit hammered, isn't it, in the winter? So that's been changed, and I've had the wet belt done. That's the cam belt, for those of you that don't know what a wet belt is. It's not actually officially called a wet belt, I don't think. It's actually the cam belt or the timing belt. But I did previously explain this in my other video. It's just your cam belt, and it's a new design. Some engineer thought it was a wonderful idea to put your cam belt through the oil, but that can degrade the belt quicker than it normally would, especially if you don't have the correct services done. So I've had that done, and that's given me a massive peace of mind. According to Ford, that gives me, well, they say 100,000 miles or 6 years. That's debatable. That's a whole other subject that, yeah, it will causes a lot of divide and a lot of arguments, that does, with people. Some people say it should be done less. Some people say it should be done at the interval. I don't know where I am on that yet, but even if I did it at 50,000 miles, again, which is probably what I'd do, I'd probably get done at 50,000 miles. That's still 50,000 miles. That's still a long time. So yeah, I think that's what my plan will be. But now I've got those upgrades done, and I've got all these little jobs done, I can now proceed with the build exactly how I want to now, and I now can plan on what I want to do with it. So I'm excited now. I'm excited. I just wanted to get those things done and out of the way, and I just wanted to give you guys an update and let you know what I've had done, because I did say that I'd take you with me on this journey. So I'm going to share everything with you that I do. So stay tuned, and hopefully the next video will be something a bit more interesting. I'll speak to you next time. Bye, and thanks for watching.